Welcome back, everybody. I don't know when this one will air, but we're back with David Jones. He was on here earlier, sometimes this summer, talking about the Hatfield McCoy Bowl. Luckily, we got him to stick around. Now it means we're going to talk a little bit about regular season. I know it's super early, Dave. You all are probably still on your break, but
Yeah.
what are the feelings right now? How is the excitement growing right now around your program? I know you got a lot of good kids in the program. You got a lot of excitement. What's going on right now?
Man, we are, it is just, it's a straight, just excitement going on. Our guys got in the weight room finally. This is going into my third year. So, it was kind of my first year, we've had 28 seniors, I think, something, it was a lot. And then our second year last year, we fell off. We was just young. I knew we was going to have to go through it. And, thank God I've been through those situations and I survived it. I survived it without getting on a blood pressure pill and stuff. And the kids has got back into the weight room. And, our leaders like Aiden Burke, Tegan Hackney and Dylan Mounts, those are some of our leaders throughout this off season. And, we just got a kid from over in this area, Jameer Knuckles. He became a captain for us, quarterback. And he's just been done a phenomenal job, which of course I've known the kid for forever. And just a great talent, and, everybody's definitely excited for that. Mingo's known to throw the ball. And we're getting back to our roots of throwing that rock and having a hard-nosed runner in the backfield.
Yeah, and you speaking about that, Jameer seems like he can do a little bit of both for you. Yes. When you have a quarterback with that kind of dynamic, it kind of puts a little extra pressure on your defense. Just talk about that dynamic and, how exciting it is to have a kid like that. And maybe even talk about some of your other quarterbacks who, because, right now it's early in the season, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, you always need a backup or a backup plan as usually.
Absolutely. Jameer has gotten into the weight room. He has taken care of his body. Jameer looks great. We know he was a bigger quarterback and, he slimmed down and he's went to work. His focus is like no other. I've been around a lot of kids. And for him to come in and not really know a lot of the kids, when he throw a bad pass or he could have thrown it this way, he's always, my bad, I got you, or something like, and the great thing about him, and it's scary because I'm not a Mahomes fan. I'm a Philadelphia fan. But he throws like him. And I had to talk to our receivers and be like, hey, you may not think he's looking at you, but he is. Run your route because they get there and they're like, oh, I was like, just run your route. He'll get, I promise you. And then he did one to Burke, and Burke was like, man, he's like, I didn't know he's going to get to me. I was like, I told you. So it's just been great, man. It's been phenomenal, just seeing how he's growing and, how he's developing and things. And like I just mentioned, Aiden Burke's one of our big dogs. He's gotten several offers already. All the D1 schools are starting to trickle on in now, which they have been, but they're really coming in now, trying to get decisions and stuff like that. We got Maddox Sarton, is a kid that, he's from he transferred over from Chapmanville, but he's from Mingo County. And he's a basketball kid too, but he's one of our slot kids. We got a kid named Trendez Bryant. He's a 4-3 kid. Or Defiant High School. Listen, he ran that. I got the chills because I knew what that meant. We got a senior in Keziah Joplin. Another senior receiver, and also we got some big dogs. And just say a little bit about our defense because Coach Shep will destroy me if I don't say something about the defense. But we got some big dogs over there that we know that's going to make some big noise for us, which one of our leaders and captains, Tegan Hackney, a junior, and then you got a sophomore freshman player of the year. So one of my freshmen, Jacob Maynard, he's going to be a sophomore, big guy, big kid, been in the weight room. We got Noah Newsom to come back home from Belfry. He's going to do some big time things for us at outside linebacker there. And don't be surprised you see a freshman in there at nose guard for us named Dalton Page, come out of Wimpson Middle School. And we got Griffin Beckett that's going to be doing some big things for us also. But going over to our quarterback position, or backup quarterback, actually, we're actually moving a kid at quarterback position, about 6'2". He's a incoming freshman from Wimpson, and his name is Matt Phillips. Malachi Phillips, but we call him Matt. And I'm gonna tell you right now, he's a big dog. He's gonna do some big things for us. I know Coach Endicott and Coach Sammons is very ecstatic about him and about him developing and all that good stuff.
Speaking of that, developing young quarterbacks, how important is it to have a kid like Jameer he can learn from? He sit there a year, he can kind of pick his brain, he can do it. How important is that for young quarterbacks? Because sometimes I think they learn a lot from the guy in front of them.
Absolutely. And listen, and Jameer's one of the best because he really, really looks forward to doing things like that. That's one thing I was very impressed with him, and just hanging around the kids and just teaching the game. And that's so important. Jameer got 2 years with us. And to be able to do that and develop that and then come in as a going into your junior year. And not only that, as well as I do, you've been covering this for ages. You know as well as I do, you're one player away from stepping in there.
That's it.
So it's very, very important. We're taking that very serious. That's one of the most serious things we are taking is that. And whenever Matt is not playing there, he's one of our next receivers coming up. He's that good. He's really, really good. And I'm ecstatic. We also got a kicker this year. He kicks too. Him and Noah Newsom. They kick. We ain't had a kicker in 2 years, and I'm telling you, we get beat by 1 point. I'm over there they like, Coach, you want to kick? I'm like, no, go for 2. We was in practice, our flex practice, and Coach Sammons, he was like trying to draw up a 2-point conversion. I said, don't worry about that. We got a kicker, And he was like, what? I was like, yeah,
People don't realize how big of a weapon that is.
Oh, it is. We got beat by 1 point several times last year by 1 point. And it was because we just didn't have a field goal kicker. We had to go for 2, and we just couldn't get in. Yeah, it's hard. But just speaking on and that's some of the guys that But we got a saloon full of kids. Davion Joplin, is going to be huge for us. Bo Hatfield, and Mason Kinder been making some big noise too for us. So we got a saloon of kids that they're older now. We was very young. We only got 4 seniors this year, and there's only 3 of them that play. So we're still there, but we're heavy sophomore, junior, and a lot of freshmen too in their team.
Yeah. Just talk about, while we're still talking about offense, the guys up front in your run game, because I don't care how good of a quarterback he has, you have to run the ball some. Regardless, I know you like to run it, so it's not like you all are just going to throw it all the times and not run it. Talk about who you got up front and how important this run game is going to be.
Man, I think we got one of the best backs in the state of West Virginia, and that's his name, Jace Coleman. We call him Bam, Jace Bam Coleman. And he's been with us since he's a freshman. He came from the Yeager area, and good football area, and he is slippery. He's very slippery, and I know to make him successful, that front got to be successful, and that's the big question mark about our team. And there's no secret. And we're happy about it. We hired Ethan Wolford, Big E, came out of Belfry, was an All-American at University of Charleston. And Coach Uten is there too, our weight training coach. They're killing it for us, getting these guys ready, prepared. We got a lot of big dog freshmen that's coming in and things too. So we've gotten them into the weight room. That's what we've been focusing on. And honestly, they come in, they're stronger than us. It's our dead period, and they're working out and sending clips and doing. I'm like, my goodness, I'm like, I'm not used to this, and things like that. But we have some of our guys from last year, Dylan Mounts, he'll be playing some guard for us. Griffin Beckett, he's a freshman, incoming freshman, big guy. He's gonna come in and start for us. We don't know where we're gonna put him yet. He can play different positions. We're just trying to figure out when we get the pass on where we're gonna place him. He could play center. You could see him at tackle. You could see him at guard. You know, we got another kid that's his name Garen Hinkle. He's a sophomore. He did some major games for us, and coming out and all that good stuff too. Blake Golf, and things like that. So we got some cats. You know, this has been the first year that I can say we got about we got about probably like 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there that we can move around and all that, and we don't have to have kids to jump in and rush them. We can develop them, and later on down the season, you know, play some plug and all that stuff. I can tell you our offensive line will not be our defensive line, and that's how maneuver we are this year.
And speaking of defense, now it all starts up front. I know you like those secondary guys.
Oh yeah,
You gotta have some pressure up there. You gotta stop that run.
yes.
Talk about how you guys up front, and then talk about your back seven after that.
Yeah, man. Well, our guys up front, we got Braden Mounts. He's going to be a junior. He's about 6'1", 6'2". He's about 220 now. Then I was telling you, at our nose guard there is going to be Dalton Page, and strong kid. I mean, really good. And then you're going to have Dylan Mounts again. Like I said, you know, Dylan's our senior. He started All-State D-lineman for us last year. He's about 6'1", about 230. And then, you know, we having our outside backers there, which we plug and play them up front there. So it's Jacob Maynard and Noah Newsom, and they're two big guys too. They're both 6'1". You know, I think Jacob's around 185, 190 now. Noah Newsom, I think he's about 190, maybe 185, something like that. But we got some dogs there. You know, in our back seven, you know, you got Donovan Valalamar. He's one of our captains. He's been with us for 3 years now. He's locked down. You know, his confidence, his athleticism. Donovan also can step on that offensive side and play ball also. But he's one of our leaders on that defensive side. Aiden Burke at safety, Bo Hatfield, and Davion Joplin. And, you know, we got several guys competing for that other corner spot with Mason Kander, Keziah Joplin, and Trendez Rod. So they're competing for that spot. And Matt, you know, Matt Phillips. So we got freshmen competing. I don't care to play a freshman. You know, if you can ball, you're going to play. Absolutely. And that just helps us, you know, later on down the line. But like I said, I'm excited about my roster. I'm excited about the team. You know, the good thing is they've been in the weight room. You know, so there's no excuses this year. We got beat. We got beat physically last year. And when you get beat physically, that mental is going to go out the door.
Absolutely, that it goes quick. But you said something, confidence. I thought that's a big key. You play with a lot of confidence when you play.
Oh yeah.
Once you get a little bit of experience with some of these guys, they start to build that. How huge is that when these guys go out on the field? Instead of not knowing if they can make the play, know they can make the play and then go out and do and execute it. How big is that?
It's huge, man. And that's, we talked about Aiden Burke, man. Like, he got in the weight room, man. He got bigger, and he's went to these camps and has destroyed these city boys. I mean, has destroyed them. And I'm like, you see the difference from there to now? You know, and I said, you know, just by getting in the weight room, you got that confident understanding, oh, well, I can compete with that. You know, or I'm not going to get up here. He going to jam me up and I ain't going to be able to do nothing, you know. And just like you said, man, confidence is everything. You know, confidence help your effort. You know, you can't coach effort, but that confidence can help it. Absolutely. Everybody like, you can't coach it. I understand that, but confidence can help it. Absolutely. You know, it's everything, and our guys got it. You know, we allow our team to be ran by our players until we have to step in and make that decision.
Yeah. Yeah, I know West Virginia's changed some stuff with the classification. I think you guys are still 2A, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Talk about your schedule and how tough this 2A is, and, you know, where you want to be at by the end of the season.
Man, so the only game I'm worried about, and this is no exaggeration, I know people think it's cliche, but I have had to live with this for 303. Well, we're not at 3 yet. We're at 3. We're at 3 something right now. I've been counting every day. August 28th, Tug Valley. That's the one game that, you know, that's our county championship. That's the game we got to get. You know, and that's the game we got to be focused with. We come in last year thinking they wasn't going to come over there and do nothing. They come over there and took it. You know, and I mean, when I say they took it, they took it. And I mean, their coach, they all looking at me. I'm like, they come what comes up. What do you expect? Like, coach can't do nothing, you know.
Yeah.
And I seen it in the pregame. You know, I was like, I told my other coach, I said, we about to get smacked up. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, they not ready. I said, look at them boys over there. So that is the one game that, you know, that's the one game. You know, and then, you know, put that off to the side and just talk about the schedule. We got West Side. We owed them one. We got beat by 1 point. We picked up Wayne. So we'll go down and play Wayne. And, you know, they're always tough. Who else? We got Man on our schedule, and that's always a battle for us too. Then we got Wyoming. We picked up Wyoming East. We picked up we didn't pick up, we still got Scott, which is always a force for us. You know, which is it's a great game. I love playing it because it always fall on we had to go and be their homecoming. So it's always billboard for me. And, you know, I think, you know, this for our seniors, it's their third time going, and we've always been each year their homecoming game. So
A little extra
motivation. And then we picked up a 3A foe, which is Lincoln County, just right outside of Chapmanville there. We got Chapmanville also on the schedule. They're another 3A school. Let's see. We got Doddridge County. Doddridge County's they're a heck of a school. They just moved up from 1A to 2A, and they're within the playoffs every single year. Great passing school. So we got a battle of our schedule. We got a tough schedule. We're going to scrimmage Tulsa and Winfield at home. But you know, we got a schedule, and you know, like I said, you know, that August 28th is, you know, what really matters, and I think that August 28th will determine, you know, where our guys at this point. You know, now that ain't the whole season.
Yeah.
Win or lose, it is what it is. But that's the game.
And after last year, you know, this is how rivalries develop. You want to win your county game.
Yeah.
They were ready for it last year, like you said. How important is it to have a good rivalry? And, you know, every year you can go expect a tough game and see where you're at and still have respect for those guys and have just a good, clean game that is beneficial for both big teams, because they're a smaller school. It's beneficial for them to play you guys.
Every bit of it. And, you know, it always helped when you got two head coaches that respect each other. And, you know, Haiti was one of my role models growing up. I was actually his water boy. So mate one. So it's always, and then not only that, their kids hang out with our kids, their friends off the field and stuff like that. So, you know, we literally live right here. Now it's a rivalry because you always want those bragging rights. You know, but at the end of the day, it's always a good thing whenever you can go back and, you know, and have dinner at that game. We always say 9-1 because we want them to lose that one game. They want us to lose it. After that, we're rooting for you because we can't knock you out of getting your title, and you can't knock us out of getting ours. So hopefully we can continue to keep this game going. If people don't mess up nothing, you know, within what we're trying to do. But it's getting kind of hard because, you know, I had to put 2 3A schools on my schedule to be able to make up for that single A, you know. So, but we'll see, you know. But like I said, we're gonna keep it going as long as we possibly can, and you know, hopefully you'll see the both of us in the Pike County Bowl one day.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I guess, you know, any last things that you want to talk about this season? I know you always like giving the shout outs to your coaching staff, or if you want to talk about your guys there, and then we'll wrap this up with preseason.
Yeah, man. You know, I've always, you know, my associate head coach is Michael Shepard. You know, he played over here at Pikeville College, and it's my defensive coordinator also. My offensive coordinator is Josh Sammons. He also played over here at the University of Pikeville for Coach Dudley Hilton. O-line coach is Ethan Wolford. You know, he's played over here at Belfry, University of Charleston athlete too. He gonna like I said athlete too, by the way. But he was an All-American lineman. You know, we got Terry Job Harris. He's a longtime assistant coach from over in the Gilbert area, and he's been at Central from the jump. He's one of the most smartest guys to break a film down and tell us what we need to do. He's very, very valuable to us. Blaine Pruitt, he's one of the top receivers in the state of West Virginia. We coming out and made one and all that. So his knowledge and stuff to help us with the receivers and figure out what we need to do is beyond phenomenal. Let's see, we got a lot of guys. Let's see, we got Coach Uten. He's our assistant O-line and D-line coach, head D-line coach. Let's see, we got Mike Corbett. He's actually our running back coach and speed training coach. Well, I brought in a speed coach this year, and it's helped us tremendously. We've been doing that during off the off season and working 4 days a week, and he's been phenomenal with that. And he's just a very smart coach. He was one of the guys that started the wrestling program at Mingo Central and stuff, and stepped back from it. But I think he's going to work through some middle school wrestling stuff now. But he's there with us now. And my head JV coach is Nathan Siggers, a longtime assistant and head coach now. He's at head basketball coach at Williamson. He's my Williamson Connect. He does a lot. He's very, very, very valuable to me. And I can't forget my man, Sean Clark, head wide receiver coach and offensive coordinator for the JV squad. And just a brilliant guy too, man. I got him out of Logan County. So we got a staff. We got a lot of great guys that's involved in stuff. And, and the last but not least is Coach Endicott. He's from Gilbert, and I tell you how brilliant he is, man. I could talk ball with him all day long, and especially when it comes to special team too. He's my quarterback coach also. And if you have a guy that's a quarterback coach, you gotta trust him. And and Josh is his first name. I call him Coach Endicott, but he is one of my top guys, man. And I couldn't be more happy to have him. I got him last year and stuff. And and we have a little inside joke, but I got him last year and I saved myself this year with him, just put it that way. But we got a great staff, man. I couldn't do anything without them like that. They make my job a whole lot easier, and all that good stuff. But we got a great staff, and I'm proud to have them. And let's see what we can turn this team into.
Awesome. For everybody out there, thanks for watching. Just going to thank David Jones again. Get out there and watch these Mingo Central Miners this year. I mean, they bring a fun style of football to play. It's always fun, always exciting, especially up on the mountain on a Friday night. Get out and support David Jones and his teams for Unwired Appalachia. Corey Vance back behind the camera. I'm Randy White. We'll see y'all soon.